Thanks very much. My name is Trish Nolan, and I'm a member of the traveller community. With a slight variation to my situation, that when I travelled with a very traditional travelling family, the Reillys, who related to John Jacko, who you all know John Jacko, and we would have been the Leitrim Reillys. But while a lot of travellers maybe only hear through stories and that about living in tents and that, it's very rare to see something. My father was so traditional that when I was young, that's not that long ago, but he held on to his ways for so long, that I would have been brought up in what we called a nadas, a tent made out of wattles he made out of himself from most of the time, and it was those side of the road travellers, but then we were the poor travellers as well, we couldn't keep up with other travellers, and then it was very, very, I never saw a TV till at the age of 8. I was taken away from that family simply by virtue of the fact that they were travellers and didn't have facilities. And my mother wasn't able to, in their eyes, provide for us, and that was her fault, and it was nothing to do with the fact that there was no, proper type accommodation, and that was unheard of anyway in those days, and your only option was to move into a halting site with, other families that maybe you didn't know or whatever, and very, very, very poor set up altogether, so yeah, that was the result of it anyway, and I ended up in residential care for the remainder of my childhood, I suppose, and it was very traumatic, and it has been happening even to this day. A lot of kids taken away from travellers and put into care, there was a case recently there in Dundalk where a woman was threatened that if the accommodation that she had wasn't suitable, well, why don't you put your kids into care, and it's horrific to think that in this day and age, that can actually still go on, But this song anyway is a song that I wrote. It's an original song called Broken Lines, and I would view myself as having a multi-conscience about what it is to be both a traveller and a settled person. I'm neither, I'm both, I'm all of each, and I use that to my advantage, you know what I mean? I've done some work with different traveller groups, and I use that to my advantage in that while I was always a traveller, I developed cultural ways that were different. I had to. I was told that my way was wrong, But while you develop an education, an accent, you don't develop a different heart for where your formative years are formed. And that was for me in the traveller community. And I found it very, very difficult around identity and things like that growing up, because I felt like a traveller, I looked like a settled person, and I wasn't really accepted in the traveller community. And yet within that settled community, there was such discrimination in those homes because they saw me as a traveller, and I experienced acute racism on top of other things in those homes. And so this song anyway is my come to terms with my own situation, and it's called Broken Lines, and it's what I experience on both sides, and the lack of communication and the idiocracy of all that, because I love people from all walks of life, but I obviously my formative years are where I developed my personality, and I'll always have that close connection with the traveller community, and whatever else I bloomed into after that, whatever, So here's Broken Lines.
Broken homes, broken hearts, broken truths, they make for bad starts. Shattered dreams and broken bridge the distance between those broken lines. Those broken lines. They'll undersize you, won't recognize you. They'll paralyze you, the distance between those broken lines. Temperature changes, you're hot and you're cold. You don't know your value, but you're bought and sold. As soon as you're in, you're told to go out. Broken lines is what I'm talking about. Those broken lines, they'll undersize you, won't recognize you, they'll paralyze you, the distance between those broken lines. You're losing direction on a one-way track, but you keep on moving because you can't get back. Makes no difference if you can read the signs when you can't bridge the distance between those broken lines. Those broken lines. Size you, won't recognize you, paralyze you, the distance between those broken lines. Not how you play, if it's on the cards. You're always the joker, never the queen of hearts. Always the loser, and you can never win. Those broken lines will always be your sin. Those broken lines undersize you, won't recognize you, they paralyze you, the distance between those broken lines. Can't bridge the distance between those broken lines. Distance between those broken lines.